This week on Cruisin' New England. Today, you'll see a great Franklin Delano Roosevelt collection. Historical baseball memorabilia, antique cars, vintage toys, and a whole lot more. I'm Paul Manette, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Cruisin' New England. Today we're in Central Connecticut to meet up with a collector's collector. We're going to see some of her automobiles, a whole bunch of memorabilia, and even visit a museum. All this and more on Cruisin' New England. All my life, I've been cruising New England, meeting great people, visiting amazing places, and discovering wonderful classic and custom car collections, nostalgic automobilia, and so much more. Come on and join our adventure. I'm Paul Manette. Let's go cruising. Closed captioning for Cruisin' New England on Nesson is being brought to you by New England Recycling. Waste put to work. Cash for Gold, the place to sell your unwanted gold and diamonds. Where you sell your jewelry is as important as where you buy it. We at Cash for Gold are gold and diamond specialists. We will buy all size diamonds, gold chains, rings, bracelets, silver coins, and even broken jewelry. Often we pay 2 to 3 times higher than pawn shop prices. We also pay up to 90% of the daily price of both diamonds and gold. We are the original, authentic, family-run Cash for Gold and have been for over 35 years. Visit us at 527 South Broadway, Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire.
Your special moments are something to remember. For weddings, portraits, and special events, contact Sparks Fly Photography.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy, the old original from Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance. We've been providing antique car insurance for 65 years, and now this year we have the latest and greatest state-of-the-art technology. Our new system allows you to go online on our website and get a quote in 2 minutes. If you like what you see, you can apply, plug in your credit card, and get your policy delivered to your email the same day. So for all your collector car insurance needs, try Grundy Worldwide.
Find out what's happening. Get up-to-date information as I travel throughout New England and beyond. To get exclusive information and behind-the-scenes photos, join me on Facebook.
I'm Vic Shaco and deal in the finest classic motor cars, cycles, and vintage parts to collectors all over the world, but we're right here in New England. Vintage cars are like vintage wine. Both get better with proper care and time. I offer a luxury experience that's by appointment only. So check out my website, classiccars.ws, or call me at 401-521-5333 to find your personal piece of history.
We're back, and I'm with Liz Kopeck. Liz, I wouldn't call this a home, I'd call it a museum.
Thank you, Paul. I have many, many collections. The boat in particular is a folk art piece made right here in Southington from tomato paste cans and tomato sauce cans in 1932 by Francanulli.
Well, I'm glad he's Italian. You know, that tomato and the olive oil go very well together.
And it made a wonderful boat.
It really is unbelievable. Tell us about the boat itself. Can you give us a little overview of the boat? How big is it? I mean, this thing is huge.
It's about 14 feet long. And he assembled it. He made screws into rivets. And in the old days, he lit it up with the old plug.
Wow.
He went on to make the Normandy and a few other boats, probably before he became interested in girls.
Now, what type of things do you collect other than the boat? Tell us about some of the other things that you collect.
I love collecting Franklin Delano Roosevelt memorabilia. I have his sterling silver that was manufactured in 1917 and bears his initials on each of the handles. And I have the Democratic National Convention book, which he personally signed to number 639, whoever that was. And then I have the Stengel pottery that was put out after his 1932 victory.
Now, you could go on and on and on here in this home. You have all types of things. Give me an overview of some of the different rooms that you have.
I have, of course, the Franklin Delano Roosevelt room. I have the Frederick Matzow room, who was a painter who painted in Meriden, Connecticut. Most of the artwork in this room is from Nelson Augustus Moore, and he was a local artist, but member of the National Academy.
Now, you also have some toys.
I collect toys, and of course, my husband collects the Army men in front of the television set. And we, in the summertime, I have my Statue of Liberty collection. There's not many holidays that I don't collect.
Now, I did notice you have even rooms with signs, old memorabilia signs.
I have old memorabilia signs. We have those in the other room. We have a soda bottle collection. We even have a fly spray collection.
Now, I have a small collection. I might have like 24 of the 1950s, 60s ice cream scoops, but you have quite an ice cream collection.
Yes, I have ice cream scoops dating from about 1890, and they've changed their shape dramatically to what we know today. And I have ice cream boxes, and I even have the ice cream box that they carried at baseball games, and it was insulated in the 1940s.
So Liz, obviously you're a historian. How did you get started collecting all this?
I started collecting when I was a child, and my parents took me to auctions, to on-site auctions, and they'd always give me a dollar bill to buy something. Normally it was prisms, because I was fascinated by prisms, but that's how the whole collecting bug started.
And you never stopped?
And I never stopped.
Is there any pieces that you're looking for now that you might want to add to your collection?
I'm always looking for Roosevelt memorabilia and for different folk art pieces.
And let's talk about that memorabilia that you have from Roosevelt. I notice you even have some license plates that have Roosevelt on it.
I have the whole collection of license plates that they put on every year during election time, from the 32 campaign to the 36 to the 1940. I have memorabilia collected from Warm Springs, where he did his polio treatment many, many years ago.
So I did notice in one of the rooms you had a nice baseball collection.
I have a very large baseball collection dating back to around 1910. My uncle was a pitcher for the New York Yankees in 1928, so I get that interest from my parents.
What was his name?
Archie Campbell was his name, and he pitched with Babe Ruth on that team.
Wow, that's unbelievable. You have some pretty unusual items up there. I saw that big bat. Tell me about that.
The bat was signed by the 2004 Boston Red Sox, and Mark had given some electric cars to the organization, and David Ortiz took the bat into the dugout and had everybody sign it.
Oh, that's a great piece of information. Now, what about the, I noticed a baseball jersey there sitting on the table. It seemed to have a signature on it. Tell me about it.
Yes, it did. After the World Series, Mark asked Mr. Mirabelli if he could have a piece of memorabilia, and he gave me that shirt.
And I understand that's the one he wore in the World Series.
It is the one he wore in the World Series.
Stains and all.
Stains and all.
You have a great collection here in your home. It's beyond a collection, it's a museum. And I also understand you have some cars that you want to show me.
Yes, I do. Let's go outside and check them out.
When we come back, folks, Liz is going to take me outside. We're going to have a look at some of her cars right here on Cruisin' New England.
Honey, what are you doing out there?
Waiting on the next super blowout 3-day only mega sale.
You don't need a sale, you need MPD.
NPD's everyday prices are competitive with most sales, and orders arrive fast from our 4 strategically located superstores. National Parts Depot has quality parts for Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, GTO, Firebird, Ford, and Chevy truck. For your free catalog, go online or call toll-free.
Working beats waiting.
Do you have a child with food allergies? Does your school need help managing food allergies? I'm Gina Minette-Lee, a nationally recognized food allergy author, educator, and consultant. I provide a common-sense, fact-based approach to managing food allergies at home and at school. For more information, visit foodallergyconsulting.com.
Every week in the summer, I drive on Vermont's most dangerous road. We tailgate, we speed, and we crash. Around here, those are the rules of the road. Thunder Road, that is. But Vermont roads aren't a racetrack, and there are different rules to follow. Focus on the road conditions. Focus on the lanes around you, and focus on the drivers near you. Because at the end of the day, we want you to get home safely. That way we all win.
Sponsored by the Vermont Governor's Highway Safety Program.
When September comes, the party begins. Cruise on over to the Big E in West Springfield, Massachusetts, September 18th through October 4th.
I'm Paul Minette of Cruisin, New England at McMillan Chevrolet. McMillan has shipments arriving weekly of the new C7 Corvette.
People from all over the country buy their Corvettes from McMillan Chevrolet to get the highest level of value and service.
McMillan Chevrolet always has over 250 Corvettes in stock in their 3-story climate-controlled building. Remember, all roads lead to McMillan Chevrolet. Check them out at McMillan.net.
The Thompson Auto Group.
We're back, and I'm in Central Connecticut here with Liz. Liz, you going to tell us a little bit about some of your vehicles today?
I'd love to. This is a 1951 Chevy pickup, 1 ton with a 9-foot bed, and we purchased it about 3 years ago. And since I love Halloween, we painted it orange and black. And Which Way Farm was Betty Davis's farm here in Connecticut. Wow. So we call it the Which Way Farm truck.
Was it owned under her family?
No, it was owned by somebody in New York City. And Mark spotted it from the Brooklyn Bridge and went and picked it up out of a backyard.
Wow, isn't that a great story? Now, is it all original?
It's all original.
Except for the paint?
Except for the paint. The paint is not original.
You know, as I peek through the window here, I see some really nice interior work.
It's all original. We didn't change a thing.
Well, that's amazing. Now, what else do you have to show us here today?
We have a 1939 Mercury, which is just over here. Hi, Paul. Let me introduce you to Joe Venditto. He keeps our cars running here.
Well, you got quite a job, don't you, Joe?
Yes, I do, Paul. Hello.
So you keep all of their collection going for them?
I try to keep them running in decent condition. Oil changes, tune-ups, odds and ends, and minor problems I take care of.
So I guess this one here is kind of like Liz's favorite.
Yes, it is.
Give us the year, make, model, and a little bit that you know about it.
1939 Mercury. Cushy car, rides nice, looks good. First year of production, Henry Ford, Edsel Ford, had an idea of making a car step higher than Ford, hence the Mercury. It did debut the 1939 World's Fair. This particular one, flathead V8, 3-speed transmission on the floor. This particular one was one of the first 200 built in late 1938. So it makes this one a little special.
And it's also all original.
All original with a repaint, but interior's original, under the hood is all original, clean and ready to go.
Wow, you do a terrific job keeping this thing going. I can tell you that right now. It looked great.
Thank you.
Joe, you have something special to show me here today, don't you?
Yes, I do. My pride and joy, Paul. Let's take a walk.
So, Joe, this is your pride and joy?
This is it, Paul. 1932 Ford V8 Roadster Black. The poor man's sports car. It has 45 horse V8, quick 411 rear end, 3-speed on the floor transmission, and it costs brand new, as you see it in the showroom, $500. Probably can't get the running lights for $500 today.
Now, since you've owned the car, have you done anything to it, or did you buy it as it is?
No, I bought the car completely apart. Took 3 pickup truck loads to get it home to Southington. The only thing that was assembled was the engine block. Then a 6-year restoration from 84 to 1990, put it in the condition you see it in today, and I maintain it and keep it that nice and enjoy it very much.
So let's talk about what you did to the interior.
The interior I purchased through LeBaron Bonney, installed it myself, took a little bit of a while, but came out right, and they were great to fall back on for tech work.
Let's talk about under the hood.
Under the hood, flathead V8. That is the only item that was assembled. It was rebuilt and assembled. I installed it, clutch, tranny, driveline, started it, and it's been running ever since.
I love the wheels on this. Let's talk about the wheels.
The wheels are stock Ford wheels. It's the only year that Ford had an 18-inch wheel. Model A's were 19 and 21. This was the only year the 18-inch.
So, Joe, is this a driver?
Yes, it is a driver. It goes to shows, it turns heads, but I try to take out at least once a month and keep it running smoothly.
And that keeps it going really nice, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So, Liz, I guess you got one more car to show me here in your collection?
Yes, I do. The 47.
Okay, let's go. Your very own limousine.
Yes, it's a 1947 Chrysler Imperial limousine, once owned by a doctor in Augusta, Maine.
And what do you use it for?
We go to car shows and cruise nights and an occasional Dairy Queen.
Well, tell us a little bit about the car itself.
It has a straight 8 engine. It's the first car to have automatic windows. It has a fluid drive transmission, and the interior is all original.
So it's a pretty good fun car for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Liz, you know I want to take this for a ride, and I know you're affiliated with a museum right here in town called the Barnes Museum.
Yes, I'm president of the Friends of the Barnes Museum, and you're going to find it a great ride downtown.
Well, let's go. Folks, when we come back, we're going to go visit the Barnes Museum, but right now, I'm going for a ride. Give me a little bit of history about what the Barnes Museum is.
The Barnes Museum was built in 1840 by the Barnes family, and it stayed in the family through the death of Bradley Barnes in 1973. So it's a collection of 3 or 4 generations of Southington residents.
In 1902, Bradley went to work at the Atwater Manufacturing Company. The firm was originally established in 1869 as a maker of carriage hardware, but was switched over to manufacture auto parts with the advent of the automobile age. At the time that Bradley went to work at Atwater, his father owned controlling interest in the company. Bradley started as an office assistant, but 8 years later, in 1910, he was named vice president. In that same year, Bradley married Leela Holcomb Upson, daughter of a local grocery store owner. The couple moved into the Bradley homestead on Main Street, built by Bradley's grandfather, Amon Bradley, in 1836, and recently remodeled by Bradley. The 15-room house was furnished with family heirlooms, antique furniture, and rare oriental rugs, and it was surrounded by beautifully landscaped grounds. Now, what appeals to my audience is his automotive tie.
He had many, many cars, and he has almost 3,000 or 4,000 pamphlets and booklets on automobiles. They interested him for his entire life.
So why would you think some of my viewers, or a lot of my viewers, might be interested in maybe stopping by the Barnes Museum?
Because they would see the whole history from 1840 forward, and they would see all his car memorabilia and his wonderful license plate collection.
When he was not occupied by business or charitable concerns, he spent much of his recreation time driving. First a horse and carriage, and later an automobile. He toured a distance of 1,500 miles around Southington by horse and carriage, having measured the distance by attaching a bicycle odometer to one of the carriage wheels. When automobiles came into vogue, Bradley was one of the first Southington residents to own one. In a newspaper interview done in 1955, he recalled that his first car was a 1904 Ford Model A, powered with a 6-horsepower motor. Bradley later owned one of the first Pope Hartford cars ever built and observed that it was an excellent car, telling an interviewer that it would be a dandy car today if the wheels weren't so big. In his lifetime, Bradley owned many dandy cars. He purchased 15 in a period between 1904 and 1937 alone. In addition to the 1912 Pope Hartford, now in the American Automobile Association Museum in West Hartford, he owned a 1916 Scribbs Booth Coupe, a 1918 Franklin sedan, a 1923 Marmon sedan, 5 Buicks, and 2 Ford station wagons. He and Leela had a rare and beautiful collection of plants from all over the world, many of which were displayed indoors in the conservatory where they provided year-round beauty. Outdoors, their garden in Southington was recognized for years as one of the town's largest and best kept. The couple were devoted to one another, and Leela was Bradley's constant companion and helpmate until her untimely death in October of 1952 at the age of 67. On the day she died, Bradley wrote in her diary, "End of the world for me, my all gone forever." He directed that her bedroom in the Southington house be locked. The rest of the house and the grounds were also to stay essentially as they were when Leela last left them. And so, the house remained until Bradley's death. He lived another 20 years and was 90 years old when he died in February of 1973. This is the house and the collections that make up the Barnes Museum, but it's the life of Bradley Barnes that makes it special.
Paul, welcome to the Barnes Museum.
I can't wait to see it. So what type of things will we see here?
Well, we would see paintings, we would see advertising memorabilia. There is a tremendous collection of automobile memorabilia in the house, as well as license plates in the barn and tools and all sorts of things that represented life at the time.
Now, he was a big automotive person, wasn't he?
He was an absolutely motor fanatic. He bought the Pope Hartford in 1908 and another one in 1912, and thereafter owned many, many other cars.
And actually, people can see one of his cars, isn't it? It's at one of the AAA offices, I understand?
AAA, there is the 1912 Pope Hartford.
And what type of automotive memorabilia might we see here?
We have thousands of catalogs from all different cars, and accessories and tire books and everything you could possibly imagine came to Bradley here.
Now, if they come here, they can actually see these things? They can pick them up and look at them?
Absolutely, they can pick them up and look at them and research them and look and admire them.
And what else can you see here besides automotive?
You can see a fantastic toy collection. You can read the letters from the Barnes family for 150 years. You can see paintings. You can see things that were manufactured at the turn of the century here in Southington.
Where he has so many catalogs, this would be a great place for people who want to research automotive history.
It is, and they're certainly welcome to come at any time to peruse the collection.
And toys are right up my alley. What type of toys might we see here?
Bradley received toys from the time he was born in the 1880s all the way up through his childhood into the turn of the century. And they're fantastic toys. And because he was an only child, no one else played with them, so they're in excellent shape.
Wow. Liz, this is a hidden gem, and I think my viewers are going to want to come and visit.
That's great. Let's have them all come.
When we come back, a lot more with Liz right here on Cruisin' New England.
This episode of Cruisin' New England is being brought to you by Shappy Vintage Auto Sales.
Hi, I'm Ken Mazzilli from Kenny's Garden Center and Landscaping. We've been here in Fairhaven, Mass. for over 30 years. Come see our great selection of annuals, perennials, hanging plants, and nursery stock. We have a great selection of mulch, wall stones, field stone, cobblestones, and pavers. Make your project come alive with our large selection of statuary. For holidays, weddings, and special occasions, don't forget to visit our florist and gift shop. Contractors and consumers alike, come to Kenny's.
Hi, my name is Neil Murley, Murley's Car Care Center. We are Southern New England's Sunoco race fuel dealer. Save on Sunoco race fuel right off Route 3 in Weymouth Heights. And good luck on the track.
Hi, I'm Paul Manette, and I want to tell you about a new book coming out this spring, Collections American Style. I've teamed up with Berkshire Hills Publishing to create this beautiful full-color limited edition book. It features hundreds of full-color photographs, collector profiles, and historical tidbits. You'll see some of the finest automobile collections in the country, and memorabilia from The Wizard of Oz to the world's largest Kodak camera collection. Reserve your copy today at cruisinnewengland.com. Would you like to see more Cruisin' New England television? Now you can watch Cruisin' New England every day on our website television show at cruisinnewengland.com.
Check out Cruisin' New England Productions' website. You'll see updated information about our fun car show series, including the Magical Mystery Cruise, the Circle of Champions, the Super Wheel Showdown, and the Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic. Also subscribe to Cruisin' New England magazine. We feature some of the hottest rides in the Northeast along with event listings and a whole lot more. Don't miss a single issue. And if you want more information about sponsorships, advertising, or personal appearances by Paul Manette, email us at cruisenewengland@aol.com.
Now we're on our way back to Liz's place to have a look in her garage. No air in this, huh?
We have heat. You want heat? We have heat. When you get a bride back here, because a couple of friends of ours have used it for weddings, they melt.
I was going 70 on the highway with all the windows down, and the bride's father wouldn't sit with the bride. He had to sit with me.
This is a little restoration project we're working on.
Now, this wasn't supposed to be a restoration project. This was supposed to be ready for me to take for a ride today. So you got Joe here. Now, Joe, why isn't this ready?
I'm having a minor problem, an electrical one. I cannot seem to get spark to the spark plug. So we're dealing with the distributor. Going to put in new points, rebuild it, put it back on with a new coil, and hope that it all works.
I bet you've all heard this story before. Well, if we can't take it for a ride, at least tell us about it.
All right, 1937 Ford, four-door sedan, flathead V8. When it's running, runs great. At the moment, we're having a minor problem.
So what about the interior of this thing? Is this original? Has it been restored?
The interior is mostly original, but not 100% original. It has been touched up and redone. It's been repainted, and the engine's been worked on. Drives smooth, runs great, very dependable, usually.
Do you think maybe next time when I come back here to Connecticut, we might be able to take this thing out for a ride? Is that a guarantee, or am I going to have to take a chance?
Absolutely.
Guaranteed. What do you think? Liz, you think that's a fact?
Yes, I do.
On the wall there, you got some license plates there. Tell me about the plates.
Yes, my husband is a collector of license plates. These are relatively new. His grandparents were from Illinois, so that's why we have the Illinois plates here. He also collects signs.
Wow, that City Services one is a beauty, and it's worth a lot of money. And the Orange Crush is a favorite, a very sought-after sign, that Orange Crush one. And you have a number of pedal cars, and I'm a pedal car guy. I love pedal cars. I have a collection of my own. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the pedal cars? I noticed one up there you knew about. It says Benny's Streamline on it.
Yes, that's from Benny's Auto Supply and Hardware Store, probably in the 1950s.
Yeah, I think most of the collection you have here is from the 1950s. That sand and gravel car, the yellow one, is an awesome piece. The green one over there could be from the latter part of the 1940s, but it's another awesome piece. Thanks for bringing me into the barn. Barns are my favorite place to visit.
Great, I'm glad.
I want to thank Liz Kopeck for a wonderful day here today in Connecticut. Thank you, Liz. I'm Paul Manette. Until next time, I'll be cruising New England.